and write the play, it's definitely an obsession. You know, the art piece is an obsession.
Yeah, right. You kind of backed up on this.
And you know, from me, this is my Last Supper. This is my Mona Lisa. This is my most recent piece. Yeah, and that's I think my own personal exploration of art and art history has been understanding the relationships between artist and muse. And also the fact that you need to look. From a kid who was taught not to look. Don't look.
Yeah.
It's not polite to look. Don't stare. Don't be. Whereas it's all about this. Fine. Okay. If I'm going to draw that, I really need to understand. I need to understand it. And this is invasive, kind of unpolite. Especially when you're a woman and you're naked, and it's like, well, I want to see. I can't draw unless I see. So it really deals with all of those kind of elements. Do you want to read a?
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to stop you eating.
No, that's right. Couldn't eat while I was listening to you talk.
No. Well, you could have actually. You could have been eating the whole time.
Oh,
that's
right. That rude.
No, you don't need to worry about being rude. So yeah, at the moment I'm going. You'll see, I'm going through and putting some names to the faces. So I'll read David, and you read pretty much everything else.
Okay.
But then I'll read David, Anthea. Actually, I'll read David, Anthea, and Niwa, and you read pretty much everything else. But we'll sort of. So that was hard, wasn't it? Okay, I am an artist.
Tell me about your art.
Well, to tell you about my art, you need to experience my art. My art is experiential and conceptual. It is about being in the moment and responding to stimuli a la prima. Does that tell you about my art?
She looks down. She thought it was a clever question. What does she say now? To be. Art is to be. I am a hungry bitch. Maybe my nipples should be hard for every meeting. There is a haunted house nearby. Did I mention that? No. But I have heard about the screaming brain.
The screaming brain?
Is I Morgan?
Yeah. Yes, the screaming brain. The screaming brain. The screeching brain.
The screaming. Oh, sorry.
The
screeching, screaming brain.
The voice echoes on.
And on.
And on and on.
And on and on and on. Everything slows to a frame-by-frame stop-motion ocean of ideas. Fear is felt as the brain screams, "Shut up!
Shut up!
Shut up!
Shut up!
Shut up!
Stop!
Stop shouting at me!
Stop shouting at me! Stop shouting at me?
What is shouting?
It must be a typo. I think it's meant to be shouting.
No one is shouting. Let's move on.
And then there is 2. This is my script. I imagined I was there, and I was on the stairs up to the 2nd floor. They stopped. You go.
She stopped when he asked. She turned around to face him. The light had faded, and he could just make out the form, her shapeless body, all bones and skin.
She looks at him. He stares at her. She says she is shy, and she is. Her hand covers her mouth. She can't stop grinning. She is shy.
Part the lips, he asks. She does as he requests. He is the camera. He takes the shot. His memory is almost full, but space is found to store the images he collects.
The moment is over. He pushes past her and leads the way. She follows. His mind ablaze. She follows. The second floor is almost empty except for the paintings on the wall and the white rocking chair. I imagined I was there, and I was.
Sit here, he snaps. Sit here, he snaps. The camera, his mind, snap.
She is shy, but her confidence builds. She sees the effect she has on him. He looks at her, legs weak, knees bent, a message sent in no uncertain terms.
What do you want, he asks. What do you want? He holds her head up and makes her look at him. Her eyes fight back. She looks away as if to say, I'm shy.
He holds her gaze as if to say, don't ever look away. She settles, eyes locked, his hand firm around her neck, her jaw. He holds her head up high.
What do you want, he asks again.
Nothing, she says, nothing.
What do you want, he asks again, repetition used as a defense.
Nothing, she repeats, nothing, I want nothing.
He takes a stubbed out cigarette and writes the words, what do you want, he asks. She says nothing, in charcoal ash on the blank wall. Get me my pencils, please.
She responds immediately and leaves.
What do you want? Nothing. I have it all, he thinks. What more do I need, he thinks.
She brings the jar of coloured pencils and he begins to draw and write, and she is right there. Nothing, she whispers in his ear. I want nothing.
He hears the words, but he knows the truth. She wants it all, just as he does. He understands her need to please.
Nothing, she repeats.
Snap. A flash of light.
Captured, caught.
Nothing.
Naught.
So what's going on here, T? Explain this piece to me.
He looks at the work and his eyes widen. You go.
Okay, this piece is a piece of a puzzle. The puzzle pieces are laid out in the order of the way they go together, lined up next to each other, not yet connected, disconnected, unconnected, separated by space.
It all started with a dot, then a line in all directions at different times, over time. We have a lot of spare time here as humans. What do we do with it?
It is wasted.
Can time be saved?
So the lines connect the dots and the dots expand. Every start starts something and it continues long after the deed is done.
Indeed, the deed is to stay alive, but not just to survive.
We start a lot of things without understanding the consequences.
But staying alive is not always an option.
I am alive now.
So am I. Yes, so am I.
Hi, I am I, big I.
The little letter I is a symbol, a glyph. There is a dot above the line I. Big I is a longer, bigger line, clipped at both ends. Big I stands tall. Little I is short and small. That little voice inside us all.
I am O. O is the all-knowing, all-encompassing universal truth.
Oh.
Straightforward so far?
The line is heading towards the point.
This is symbolic of man heading towards a point which none of us can see. We know the point is there, we just don't know what the point is.
The point is a dot.
The dots connect to make a line and the lines cross.
This is a three-stage process, symbolic of life as it expands to form a complex web of strands.
The rule of three.
You're losing me.
The rule of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 is the being, 2 is the being, and 3 is seeing the being be, self-awareness.
2 is the being, and,
right.
and 3.
2 is the being, and 3 is seeing the being be, self-awareness.
I have a mole on my butt. You know what that means?
No. No what? What does a butt mole mean?
In the villages, they consider it a mark of the devil, a curse.
Really? Let me see.
She is lying on the thin mattress and she pulls her black pole shorts down with her underwear. She attempts to show her ass, but discovers the shorts restrict her movement. She gets onto her knees and takes the shorts and underpants off as she kneels, then goes down on all fours, reaching behind her to spread her butt cheeks. He sees the mole. It is rather large and misshapen.
Wow, you have a mole on your butt.
I'm cursed.
We all are. That's why we're here.
I seem to have forgotten what I did.
Clearly it was enough to get a mole in your butt. Sentenced to life on Earth with a butt mole. There's one for you.
Sentence, a string of words to make sense of a concept. A sentence being a string of days to be confined in a space designed to punish and separate, contain, imprison.
I sentence you to writing a sentence. I sentence you to writing a novel way to punish kids, 100 lines. Do you remember getting given lines to write?
I must not talk in class. I must not do what it is I did. I must not draw the devil. I got given lines all the time. It was a punishment at school. Detention and lines, both sentences.
He was still looking at her ass, and she had made herself comfortable, bum in the air. She was down on her chest, bum up, cheeks spread. He had stood up now and had walked to the window, leaning back against the wall. He watched her. He began to touch his nipples. His penis hardened and twitched. It felt good. He lets out a slight shudder groan, a soft moan.
You masturbating over my mole?
Yes.
Read the next line.
Not your mole exactly, your ass. And the fact that you are opening it up for me to see.
Her vagina is wet. There is a glistening strip between the lips. He stops touching himself and sits back down close to her. He is on the floor, she is on the mattress. He places a hand on her ass and feels the warmth of her skin. He moves his hand to touch her labia and opens her vagina. It is bright pink against her brown skin, wet, slimy, shiny, wet. He lets the lips go and it snaps back tight.
Lips smack.
I must not smack her. I must not look at lips. I must not look at what is shown to me. I must not look. I must not draw what it is I see.
He touches the flat black mole with hair growing from parts of it, wispy black fine hairs.
Have you had this checked?
You're checking it now.
He smiles at her humour.
No, I just know it's there. I think it may have grown.
You need to get it checked.
Hello, doctor. Yes, I'd like you to check my black butt mole. Has it grown?
I'll take a picture and we can monitor it. Keep an eye on it.
Do you really think this is actually hell and we can't escape?
Yes, and I don't think we can escape intentionally. There is no way out but to live a full life, and then perhaps there is redemption. For me, I think my crime was so bad that I am stuck here for eternity. I committed the ultimate misdemeanor, the sin of sins.
Like the riddle of all riddles.
What's that?
The riddle of all riddles, the ultimate riddle where everything is the answer.
What is it?
Okay, ready?
He nods. She continues.
You've got to get into it to get out of it, and you have to get out of it to get into it.
You have got to get into it to get out of it, and you have to get out of it to get into it.
Yes, you've got to get into it to get out of it, and you have to get out of it to get into it.
You have to get